Okay, welcome to election night coverage here at Town Hall. My name's Steve Doherty. With me tonight is Andrew Whitcomb, and we're going to be bringing you the election results pretty much live as they come in, as they get reported in from the various precincts around town. Taking a look at some of the races that we've got going on tonight, just so you guys know what we're going to be reporting out on. We have the Board of Selectmen. We have the 5 incumbents, Deb Panetta, Corinne Riley, Jeff Ciccolini, Mike Serino, and Anthony Cogliano. And we have 2 people running to take one of those seats, Sandro Panzini Souza and Sebastian Demotica. Likewise, we have 7 people running for 5 seats in the school committee. Of course, our incumbents, Vincent Serino, Lee Giroux, John Hatch, Joseph Gould, and Ryan Fisher. And stepping up to oppose them is Stephanie Mastrocola and Tom Whitridge. In the Housing Authority, we have Maureen Whitcomb and James Toza as incumbents, and Nicholas Melanchuk running to try to take one of those seats. Big question tonight on the ballot is the Charter Commission, whether or not the town is going to vote to begin one. And if they do authorize a Charter Commission, they're also at the same time going to be electing 9 members to serve on that. And for those 9 seats, we have 27 candidates currently on the ballot. That would be Robert Camuso, Donald Ciccolini, Anthony Cogliano, Eugene Decaro, Ken DePato, Steve Doherty, Frank Federico, Ryan Fisher, Laurie Gallivan, Bob Long, Peter Manugian, Jeannie Meredith, Lawrence Mingalelli, I apologize if I'm messing up anybody's name here, Julie Mitchell, John O'Brien, Sue Palomba, Deb Panetta, Matthew Palante, Peter Rossetti, Michael Serino, Vincent Serino, Anthony Speziali, Chris Tarantino, Rich Thompson, Tom Travers, Joe Vecchione, and Judy Worthley. So that'll be an interesting race to watch tonight for sure. It's a nice thing we got going this year is nobody is walking into their seat. We have races in every precinct for town meeting, anywhere from 6 to 7 people running for the 5 seats. Starting off in Precinct 1, we have the 5 incumbents, Anthony Arone, Sue Palomba, Susan Dunn, Christopher Jones, and Mark Bell. And they're being opposed by Stacy Herman Durant and John O'Brien. In Precinct 2, we have 3 incumbents that are running for re-election, Christine Mareschi, Peter Rossetti, and Robert Camuso, and 4 people that are stepping up to take a seat for the first time being Matthew Palante, Jeannie Meredith, Joseph Malone, and Yves Lamette. 2 people who weren't returning that were incumbents, Chris Riley and Joe Vecchione, opted not to run for re-election this year, and we certainly thank them for their past service. In Precinct 3, we have Dan Shenna, Rich Thompson, Arthur Connors, Ricky Smith, and Anne-Marie Tesora trying to defend their seats against Leonard Ferrari and Mark Sacco. In Precinct 4, Bob Northrup, Bill Lucci, Glenn Davis, Steve Doherty, and Maureen Whitcomb are incumbents trying to come back with Stephanie Shalkowski and Bob Long opposing them. And Bob Long, interestingly, was an incumbent last year from Precinct 9, but because of the redistricting with the last census, he's now in Precinct 4. So
how many people got shuffled around because of the redistricting?
He was the only one. He was the only one whose precinct changed that was on town meeting. So he'll be looking to gain a seat, but a different seat. He's not running as an incumbent, but he's certainly been on town meeting for a long time.
And he used to be the moderator for a while.
Yes, he was for 18 years. Precinct 5, we have Jacqueline Hickman, Mary Migliori, Pam Goodwin, Brenton Spencer, and Ron Wallace, and Mark Panetta is running to try to take one of those 5 seats from the incumbent. In Precinct 6, we have incumbents Alan Panico, Kevin Curry, Elisa Labrasseur, William Brown, and Jeannie Bartolo, and newcomer Karen Rackinick, and again, I apologize if I'm messing up your name here, trying to take a seat in Precinct 6. In Precinct 7, we have 6 candidates also, the incumbents Steve McCarthy, Mike Paolini, John Chaporis, Stefano Diana, and Rob Palesci, and Frank Federico is stepping in to try and take a seat away from one of them in Precinct 7. In Precinct 8, we have 4 incumbents coming back, Tom Travers, Bill Kramich, William Cross, and Anthony Lopresti. Jason Kahn not running for re-election, and we have 3 challengers, Christy Tallaghan, Arthur Grabowski, and Darren McCullough, trying to grab a seat in Precinct 8. In Precinct 9, we have 4 incumbents returning: Bob Strasnick, Katrina Berube, Judy Wordley, and Daniel Kelly. Again, the 5th incumbent would be Bob Long, but he's now a Precinct 4 candidate. And then Linda Bell and John Cottam are running to try and fill Bob's seat. In Precinct 10, we have Darren Ring, Peter Manugian, Peter Delios, Carlos Gazzarella, and Martin Costello returning, and James Toza and Steve DiVirgilio running to try and grab a seat in Precinct 10. And that rounds out everybody in our field. What are your thoughts here, Andrew?
First of all, Steve, it's good to see you. It's been
Same here.
a couple of years. I feel like I run into you on the sidewalk once in a while because you and I are neighbors, and otherwise I only see you on election night. You know, it's good to see such a mix on town meeting. And, you know, one of the things I like about our town meeting is there have always been a mix of public servants, say, laborers, unionists, teachers, everything. That, you know, it's a splice of the town. It is in itself a representation of not only the occupations and the people in the town, the neighborhoods, but it's sort of all collective, you know?
You have people from every type of background. It's probably an even mix of male and female and
Right.
different ethnicities, and you're right, different work backgrounds, and it really does represent the kind of the dynamics of the town. And it's great to see 6, 7 people running
Right.
in each precinct. Anyone who steps up and takes the time to get the signatures and to campaign and to put themselves out there and to go through this process certainly deserves your support. Unfortunately, not everyone's going to win.
Right.
There's going to be 1 or 2 people disappointed in each precinct this evening because you can only elect 5. Same with the Board of Selectmen, obviously, and the school committee. But I applaud anyone
Right.
who took the time and stepped up and made the effort.
You know, and I
wish them all well.
was speaking to one of the town meeting candidates, one of the newcomers today, and I said, whatever happens tonight, you know, there's always opportunities to be involved. It doesn't have to be an elected position. There's plenty of, there seems to be always vacancies on some committees in town. You know, if you really want to get involved and there's a particular area, say cemetery commission or cable board or something that you're interested in,
Yeah.
write a letter of interest to the Board of Selectmen.
There's all kinds
There's
of boards and
always
committees and ways to step up and help out too. And there are people who have served the town faithfully for 20 years without ever being
Right.
elected to an office.
Absolutely.
They that have stepped up and worked on one of the various committees or boards that you mentioned, Board of Appeals and whatnot, and helped out. And again, they're volunteer positions. Nobody's going to get rich,
Right.
helping out. But kudos to those people,
You know,
because
and
the
then-
town really couldn't run without them.
In the same sense, and Bob Blanc comes to mind, you'll see people that serve on the Board of Selectmen for a number of years, and then, you know, maybe they'll move to the Finance Committee or they move somewhere else, and then they'll say, you know, I really want to keep going, but I've had enough on the board, or I'm not saying Bob did this, but, you know, then they'll run for town meeting.
Yeah.
There are probably at least a dozen people that have running now or incumbents now that have served in some other capacity.
Yeah.
Whether it's on another board or as an elected position. I mean, I can say confidently my mother, Steve and I don't really give our personal feelings on these broadcasts. It's, you know, we know who we voted for, but it's really about voters and bringing the results to you. I will state publicly, I voted for my mother in both of her positions. If I don't say that out loud right now, it'll be a very cold walk home.
We don't get supper this
Right.
evening.
You know, she's a very passionate person. Once we were sort of the 4 of us, the children were kind of raised. She wanted to do more to get involved. She ran for town meeting. She's on the housing authority. She's a candidate for housing authority tonight, and she sits on some other boards for the town. You know, I think she's always going to want to do that. She loves this town.
Yep.
And I will say too, I voted for you for the charter commission. I'm not saying how else we voted.
Thank you. I appreciate
Those will be the only results I reveal today. My mother and my dear friend here. But you know, it's good to see competition. That means that there's something to talk about. You know, not just for the 2 of us, but that means there's out there. You know,
Yes.
there's always a seat for somebody. It doesn't have to be an elected seat, but nobody's ever going to turn somebody that wants to better the town in some way or another. You don't turn them away. You know.
I agree. In the interest of full disclosure, I also voted for myself for the Charter Commission. But when I look across, there are so many worthwhile candidates and people deserving of our votes. in every race across the board here, whether it's town meeting, on the Board of Selectmen, certainly, on the school committee, on the housing authority. There are people who really step up. And some of these names are new to politics. Some of them
Right.
you haven't seen. Some of them have been around a long time. I've been on town meeting now for 12 years, and that doesn't give me a whole
Has
lot
it
of
been that long?
seniority. You know what I
Right.
mean? There are some people who've been here quite a bit longer. And when you look at the names, you recognize some of them jump right out at you. People that have been serving the town, not necessarily on town meeting, but in some capacity
Right.
for decades. And again, kudos to them. It's not
No,
an
it's
easy
like
thing to
that's-
do, and it's not all that rewarding. But someone has to step up and do it, and we
You-
give them a lot of credit.
The thing I like most about representative town meeting is these guys aren't politicians. Nobody's, not to say politicians make money, but nobody's making any money.
Yep.
They have day jobs. This is what they do. They want to help the town.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about town meeting is these are your neighbors. These are your friends. A lot of these people in the audience, if this was a town meeting, some of these people went to school with one another. They've known each other for decades, or some of them have been co-workers. The teachers always know each other.
Sure.
These are your friends. These are your neighbors. This is Saugus collectively. And that's why I get involved the way I do, and whether that's as an elected position or even doing something like this with you, it's you sort of sit up a little straighter once you realize the caliber of people you're working with.
Absolutely. I'm looking. Just lost my thought here. The number of it's good as much as it's nice to see new people stepping up too. It's good to see, other than 3 out of 50 town meeting members, we only had 3 that didn't step up for re-election this year. So 47,
Right.
As much as it is a volunteer effort,
Right.
47 was still interested enough to stick around and want to keep doing it. I was watching the forums there that were co-sponsored by the Advocate, actually, on the candidates for
The Charter Commission
Charter
forums.
Commission. I saw a lot of great ideas come out
Right.
of that. I don't know if the town's going to approve a charter commission today, whether or not they're going to go yes or no on that question. But if there is a charter commission, I know like I said, there were a lot of good ideas out there. I heard things about changing the election schedule. I heard things about certain positions that
Adding alternate electors, alternate voting members in case somebody needed to abstain. There's been talk of removing antiquated language, of course.
Yep.
And, I don't remember what year it would have been that this was written, but, in the charter it doesn't say select board. It says select man.
yes.
Select, that should be select person, in my opinion.
Oh, and there were things in there that say, once a candidate is chosen, he will be notified.
Right.
But
Right.
it goes back to a time, I think it was
Clearly-
actually back in the 40s. when
Clearly
they
it
put
was
it
written
together.
at a time where there wasn't any women.
Yeah,
serving,
it
and now
was a
that's certainly not true,
male-dominated, thing. But you're right, that's absolutely not the case today. So if nothing else, some language in there needs to be changed. But there was some other good ideas that were floating around
Right.
the room. And that's not going to happen in a week. That's going to take some
Right.
lengthy meetings and discussion. And but I think if it happens, hopefully the people going into it will go into it without a personal agenda and with an
Right.
open mind and listen to what's going on and make decisions accordingly. And I think something very productive could come out of that if it happens. But
Right.
that's to be seen in a matter of probably 15, 20 minutes when the results start coming in.
Right. And I've been thinking about the charter discussion a lot over the last couple of months, and it's that vote failed. The charter commission will work for a couple of years, present a final sort of package, and
Yes.
send it to the voters. They'll either vote it up or down. There's no mixing and matching. There's no choosing. You either all or nothing.
Yep.
What the group that proposed the charter change in 2009 did is they took a lot of those good ideas. They went to town meeting and they said, listen, there's still a couple of things we could fix right now.
Yep.
And they passed it off to Bob Long was a moderator at that point, who then established a committee and said, we can do these. The town meeting can vote them. And
Right.
whatever happens tonight, I've been referring to it as, the Monday morning idea, the Wednesday morning idea. A lot of those things you and I just talked about, and I guess this is showing our own colors, but those are still good ideas. Whatever happens tonight, whether we have this discussion over the next 2 years, or whether this is the start of it, I'd still like to see that Wednesday morning idea.
You're right. Short of a major change in the form of government, there are a lot of things we could do to the charter without the formation of a charter committee or a charter commission. So, one way or another, it's time to, I think, move forward on that and look at it and update it and make the necessary changes to bring it into the.
You know, in the interest of democracy, it's like it's never a bad idea to have that conversation. Right. And if it's been 13 years since the last time we did it, I think it's time. I think it was you, actually, Mr. Moderator, that said that during, I believe you said it during your piece of the debate, which was there's language in there's articles in the charter about committees that don't exist anymore.
Yes.
There's absolutely zero reason why they need to stick around if we're really not using them.
Yep.
I'd still like to see those taken out tomorrow, you know. But going into this too, there's something else we have to say before we start, which is thank you to everybody at SCTV for making this happen tonight. And Saugus Cable Station has been amazing. There's a bunch of unsung heroes tonight. Steve and I, we show up in our, flashy outfits and sit down. They do the real work. Michelle and Anthony and John and everybody in the back. They're all amazing, and they take care of it for us. And downstairs, as we speak, well, not as we speak, but as we will in 20 minutes, Ellen Shenna and Indra DePato and everybody in the clerk's office, they're running around, doing what we're doing for real.
Yes.
They work tirelessly year round. This is their Christmas.
Yep.
Santa Claus is out with the presents, and I can't thank Ellen enough for her dedication. As we were saying, everybody downstairs and everybody, Rachel and the team at SCTV, they're all incredible.
Yes, they are. Also, we have, you're going to have the benefit this evening, if you're watching us, of instead of driving all over town to pick up election results from 6 different locations, 10 different precincts, we've got people at all of those precincts that are going to be sending us in the results as they're posted. So hopefully, the polls close at 8 o'clock. Shortly thereafter, within the next 10 minutes or so, we should start to get some results in. And if everything goes smoothly, which we all know it never does, but if everything goes smoothly, by before 8:30, we'll have all the results. We'll know who won what race and how many votes they got, and we'll be able to present all of that to you, not live, but as it comes into us, which is pretty quickly.
There always seems to be some issue with some precincts or something like that. Who knows? What could happen. Either in any case, tomorrow morning, as always, the final results will be posted by the clerk's office downstairs in Town Hall, and I imagine in the newspaper as well. Shout out to our dear friend Mark Vogler from The Advocate, who's our sole member in the audience as of right now. Last thing before we really start to get cooking here, we keep this seat next to me open for a reason. It's got a hot mic. If any elected official comes down tonight, town meeting, housing authority, I guess Charter Commission too, but that would depend on whether or not it passes.
Yep. It's too late to pitch for votes because voting will be over by the time you get here. But if you want to come down and say a few words to those who supported you, by all means, stop in. We'd be happy to have you.
We're not here to campaign. We're not here to share our opinions. If you want to come down for 5 minutes, thank the voters, thank the people. We'd love to have you. And anybody watching this at home is free to come down and sit in the audience here at Town Hall. Like I said, Mark's from The Advocate is the low member at the moment, but we're happy to have you.
All right. Right now it's 7:55, so we've got about 5 minutes before the polls close. And again, the expectation is probably about 5-10 minutes after that, we'll start to have some results coming in as they post them at the various precincts around town. Some people I want to thank. Brian Doherty from our Finance Committee. He's going to be down at the Italian American Club tonight, sending us the results from Precinct 7. I've got Holly and Gary Garrity. They're going to be over at the Belmonte Middle School, pulling the results there for us and sending them over. Bill Bingham is going to be over at the Knights of Columbus. He'll be sending me those results.
We'd also like to thank our Precinct 4 colleague, Glenn Davis, who is taking care of Precincts 4 and 8 at the Belmonte School. Our dear Board of Selectmen member, Deborah Panetta, is taking care of Precincts 5 and 3 at the at the senior center.
Yep.
And then we have, I believe, lastly on my list is Jeannie Meredith, a dear friend of mine and a former candidate for Charter Commission, actually,
And a
Who-
current candidate for a town meeting.
Right.
Yep.
who is covering precincts 1 and 9 at the New Middle High School complex.
I misspoke too. I said Holly and Gary Garrity were at the Belmonte, but they're actually going to be at the Veteran School, sending me the results from there. So
Excellent. And I will shout out my mother as well, who is, you might see her pacing around. I've got my mother on retainer. I think in any case, if any of all the people we just mentioned don't come through, I might send my mother out to a specific location, for whatever reason. She's always a big supporter of mine, and I'm happy she's here with us.
my wife is also at home waiting for the call up if we needed to run out to someplace and be a backup. But hopefully, no glitches tonight, and we'll get all
I'm
the
going to summon
results
them
in.
like the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, and we'll get everything to you fairly quickly. So it's been an interesting season. I've seen a lot of yard signs. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of candidates standing out around the town center or in different places around town with signs, and they've got their supporters out there. And again, that's good to see. Because a shout out to those people whatever candidate you're supporting. If you're out there holding a sign, or you're walking door to door passing out literature, or you're doing anything to help with someone's political campaign, you're contributing to the process. You're helping the voters to know what these people stand for, and that's all good. That's all what makes it work.
Right. You might, this is all being done live too, so
Yes.
you might see Steve or I get up and make a phone call or look like we're not paying attention and send a text message or something. That's because, this is happening as we speak, and everybody wants us to go as smoothly as possible.
Right, and we don't have runners. It's not like somebody's taking results and physically bringing them down here. We've got people that are going to be texting us with the results as they come in. So if you see us looking at our phone, that's what we're doing, is we're pulling the results off of a text and entering them into a spreadsheet we have here on the laptop so that we can update you with totals as quickly as possible.
Yes, you guys might be seeing my screen right now. I don't know if we established that, but you guys might be able to follow on directly with my laptop. In any case, we'll be reading out the results and chatting as they come through. It's like countdown to New Year's here, Steve, because in 10 minutes it's going to be a completely different atmosphere in this room.
Yes, it is.
Because once they start to come in, they all come in at the same time.
Well, that's it. We're going to be getting results coming in from, like I said, 10 different precincts, 6 different locations, and they're all going to be coming at us within probably a 10 to 15 minute period. So we're going to try to put all that data together and get you some results as quickly as we can. Let's see. All right, polls officially close in 1 minute. It's now 7:59. So if you haven't voted, I hope you're at the polls, which if you are, you're not watching this right now, but you got a minute to do that, and then time's going to be up. Oh. All right. Yeah, just again to recap, we have 7 candidates running for 5 seats in 6 different precincts this year. Precincts 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 10. And the remaining 4 precincts, 5, 6, 7, and 9, each have 6 candidates vying for 5 seats. Most of those have the 5 incumbents and 1 or 2 people stepping up to try and steal a seat from them. But there are a couple. Precinct 2, only 3 of the incumbents are there, and so there's 2 empty seats, and there's 4 people trying to fill one of those 2 empty seats or knock out one of the incumbents. The same in Precinct 8 and Precinct 9, where we have 4 incumbents that are running for re-election, and we have 3 and 2 people respectively that are trying to fill that other void.
It's doing this every year, every 2 years with you, and I hope this is something that continues. It's a lot of fun to sort of be a part of this side of democracy at its finest. Somebody said to me that representative town meeting or direct town meeting is the purest form of democracy.
Yes.
These people that are on my spreadsheet now, right now they have zeros next to their names, but in half an hour they're going to be elected officials. Tomorrow night in this room they'll be taking the oath.
Yes.
Those are the people that make change, they do it for, you hope, I guess, that they do it, for the best interest of Saugus. And whatever happens tonight, I don't think I could be disappointed in knowing that the process works itself,
I can honestly say I don't know everybody on this list, but the people that I do know, whether they be incumbents or be people opposing the incumbents looking to steal a chair, there's a lot of talent there. There are a lot of good people.
In some form or another.
I don't think the town's going to lose out tonight, like you said, regardless of the results. However this ends up, the town, I think, will do the right thing and put the right people in place to keep the town moving forward in the right direction.
Right. And, that's just it. And you get people that are running for office and some for or against the Charter Commission that disagree on what that direction is. But that conversation isn't in itself holds incredible value.
Yeah.
A
couple of discussions I've heard over the past couple of months about when talking about things with the charter and possible changes, and I know a couple of people mentioned to me that we're too small a town meeting. There's only 50 people.
Right. We are technically the smallest representative town meeting in Massachusetts.
Exactly. Well, so we should expand it and make it available to more people. But what they don't realize is a lot of towns, I've spoken to people in other towns that have an open town meeting where anyone from the town who's a registered voter can come down and represent themselves. And in some cases, they're lucky if they can get 50 people to show up for a meeting. You know what I mean? So it's adding seats wouldn't be a bad thing, but
filling them
could be another problem.
That's why Steve and I get excited when there's every race is competitive.
Yes, I think the more people involved, the better. In my opinion,
2 years ago, not most, but there was a good chunk of town meeting that they either didn't have 5 people running or they had exactly 5 and they were all incumbents.
Yes.
That's great. I'm glad there are people in those seats. I'm glad there are people that want to do the job. I'm glad there are people that want to serve the town. But it sort of becomes this kind of passive thing, and I don't think that's what town meeting should be.
Yep.
There always needs to be a discussion. There always needs to be a new discussion.
Yes. Another debate I've heard is about we're one of the, possibly not the only, but one of the few town meetings that actually elects the moderator from the town meeting members.
It's not its own
race. After this election is over, at the first town meeting, the first meeting that we have of the new members, the 50 members will elect a moderator for the duration of that session. And in a way, the argument's been made, that takes away a vote from one of the precincts.
Precinct 4 doesn't have a vote.
Which it actually does, because the town moderator does get to vote.
If in a tie, which I don't think I've ever seen.
To make or break a tie. And if it isn't going to make a break or tie, then the vote is kind of moot anyway.
The last tie I saw at town meeting was when we were trying to determine who was going to be the last moderator.
Exactly. That went for a little while. But it does, there are times when I'd like to get up myself and speak on an issue as the moderator, but in order to do that, I have to get out of my seat and turn the gavel over to someone else and excuse myself and go through a big process. So I'm not as vocal as I probably want to be. So I see the benefits of that. I see the benefits of electing a moderator in addition to the 50 town meeting members to run the meeting. That's not a. But again, if we do put together a charter commission, that's something that hopefully the commission will be looking at. Like I said, there's a lot of great ideas out there. There's a lot of people had input. Some of it was expected, and some of it stuff I had never heard before, and it was very surprising. But also, you could tell it was well thought out. So hopefully that'll all go into.
And like we said, town meeting. This is your neighborhood, right?
Yep.
The idea is that residents, whether they have a problem with something that town meeting can assist with directly, or let's say, I don't know, there's a pothole on your street or a stop sign got knocked over or something else. You're encouraged to reach out to the members who can put you in touch with the DPW or with the clerk's office or whoever the body may be that could assist you. Like I said, this is your neighborhood. These are the people that you're with there. You live with you. And even in Precinct 4, I know there are issues that may affect us directly that you would want to speak about. That's why I try to come to meetings when I can, even not as a member, just to speak. It bothers me. That's what it's for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's important for voters to know that too, whether it's someone on the Board of Selectmen or someone on town meeting. If you have an issue in your neighborhood or a problem with something, they can't necessarily fix it for you. It's not like you're going to call up your town meeting member and the next day your
They're gonna
problem
go-
solved.
They're going to go out with a bucket of tar
Yeah,
and fill the.
but they know they can put you in touch with the correct person, and they know who to call to address your problem or at least move it in the right direction. So don't hesitate to reach out to your elected officials if you're having difficulty with something or you see something that you think needs to be addressed, because it may be that they're just not aware of it, and by you making them aware of it, you're putting it in the right hands, in the hands of someone who at least has the contacts or the ability to get the solution underway for you. All right, well, the polls, again, are officially closed now. It's 8:07. So I'm sure they're pulling the tallies out of the machines at this point. They should be posting them at the various precincts, and our people that we have out in the field will be taking pictures of those and texting them into us, and you're going to start to see some results coming in hopefully very shortly here. And we'll bring you the results as quick as we get them. The town meeting races are the easy ones, to be honest, because once that precinct reports, we'll know exactly who the town meeting winners are. On the other races, it's cumulative, so they're voted townwide. So we may not know. We may get an idea of who's ahead, but we won't know who the winner is till we get all 10 precincts reporting. And it's also just important to note, as a footnote here, that what we're bringing you tonight are the unofficial results. The official results you'll get from the town clerk's office, and those will be announced, I'm assuming, sometime tomorrow once they finish their tallies. But either of us is certainly capable of transposing a number and or making a mistake on the spreadsheet here. So we'll try to be as accurate as possible, obviously, and make sure you're getting the right information. But the official results will come tomorrow morning at some point from the town clerk's office.
Right. I have got some results right now. First, actually, from precinct. I can't tell if this is 1 or 9. See, thing is, sometimes they come through a little blurry.
You got town meeting names?
Town meeting precinct 1. I can't read those. I'm gonna get these one again. We'll start with the Housing Authority for precinct 1.
Okay.
Here we go. I got the rest of them. Send it to me on a different platform. There we go. Okay. Let's get cracking, Steve. This is precinct 1, Board of Selectmen.
All right, Board of Selectmen. Who've we got?
Deborah Panetta, 368 votes.
Yes.
Corrine Riley, 250 votes. Jeffrey Ciccolini, 294 votes. Sandro Souza, 179 votes. Michael Serino, 280 votes. Sebastian DeMonica, 181 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 241 votes.
All right, so right now, with one precinct reporting, the 5 incumbent Board of Selectmen are again topping the ticket. But there's still 9 precincts to go, so we'll see what happens here.
Quite a few to go here.
Go ahead.
We'll go to School Committee for Precinct 1.
Yep.
Vincent Serino, 283 votes.
Yep.
Lee Giroux, 192 votes. John Hatch, 252 votes. Joseph Gould, 196 votes.
Yep.
Stephanie Mastrocola, 270 votes. Ryan Fisher, 203 votes. Thomas Whitridge, 308 votes. Housing Authority, Precinct 1, Maureen Whitcomb, 305 votes. James Tauza, 230 votes. Nick Melanchoke, 154 votes.
Okay.
Charter Commission. Yay.
Charter Commission. This could take a minute. Go ahead.
Charter Commission. For the question, yes, 244 votes. No, 275 votes.
Okay.
Rob Camuso, 105 votes.
Yep.
Don Ciccolini, 117 votes.
Yep.
Anthony Cogliano, 184 votes.
Yep.
Decaro, 82.
Yep.
Depato, 95.
Okay.
Doherty, 119.
Yep.
Federico, 105.
Yep.
Fisher, 140. Galvin, 97.
Yep.
Long, 114. Manoogian 167, Meredith 157, Mingalelli 24, Mitchell 97, John O'Brien 130, Palumba 122,
1 second. Yep.
Panetta 275, Parlante 44, Rossetti 172, Michael Serino 173, Vincent Serino 164,
Yep.
Spizzali 59,
59.
Tarantino 118, Thompson 46, Travers 100, Vecchione 104, Worthley 120.
120. Okay.
Let me double check here because I believe this precinct.
Anthony's actually Speziali, the last name. That's
Sorry.
I know him, so I happen to know the name, but I'm sure I'm butchering a few myself tonight. So
That was just precinct 1. I should also have the precinct 9 results here. I have to go scroll through them. There's about,
I've got a few others.
12,
Do you
12
have the
photos.
town meeting on precinct 1?
Town meeting in precinct 1. Yes, I do. Oh, we missed that one. Stacy Durant, 272.
Yep.
Anthony Aroni, 212. Sue Palumba, 269. Susan Dunn, 221. John O'Brien, 222. Chris Jones, 144. Mark Bell, 218.
All right. So again, unofficial votes, but it looks at this point as though incumbents Christopher Jones and Anthony Aroni have lost their seats to newcomers John O'Brien and Stacey Herman Durant, while Sue Palumba, Susan Dunn, and Mark Bell will be returning. That's for Precinct 1. I have some results here also.
Expect the precinct 9 results as well here.
Hold on.
Steve and I stopped talking. It's exactly what you think it is.
I've got results here from Precinct 10. Let me just run these down. On the Charter Commission, yes votes 214, and no votes 278. On Charter Commission candidates, we have Camuso for 79, Ciccolini 106, Cogliano 209, Decaro 57, Tapato 85, Doherty 93, Federico 71, Fisher 127, Gallivan 87, Long 95, Manoogian 219, Meredith 141, and we have Mingalelli 19, Julie Mitchell 96, O'Brien 93, Palumba 79, Panetta 250, Palante 42. Oh, hold on, I messed up. 79. Okay. What did I say? Palante 42. Shoot, I missed somebody here.
It's all right. We can circle back.
1996. 1 second. Oh, 93. Okay. O'Brien was 93. 79 for Palumba. And Panetta 250. 42 for Parlanti. 169 for Rossetti. 225 for Serino. That's Michael Serino. 190 for Vincent Serino. 43 for Speziali. 66 for Tarantino. 52 for Thompson. 61 for Travers, 91 for Vecchione, and 86 for Judy Worthley. All right, let's see what else we've got here.
I also might passively fill some in on my own.
Yeah,
The spreadsheet
go right ahead.
the spreadsheet we're looking at here, we have the 10 precincts organized, and then the totals will add up at the end. So if I suddenly stop talking, it's because we've got a list of charter candidates, and I don't want to read out all the names all at once. But I am going to start entering the charter results from Precinct 9.
I've got
myself.
town meeting here from Precinct 10, so I'll put these in as we're, because that'll give us a final result on this one. We have Darren Ring with 178 votes in Precinct 10, Peter Manoogian with 277, James Tozer with 163, Peter Delios 198, Steve DiVirgilio 143, Carla Scazzarella 248, Martin Costello 194. There are also 3 write-in votes. So that looks right now in Precinct 10 like we've got our 5 incumbents coming back. And Steve DiVirgilio and James Tozer were not able to unseat one of the incumbents for that race. Now we have Housing Authority, Precinct 10, Maureen Whitcomb with 270 votes, James Tozer 224, and Nicholas Melanchuk 126 votes. Okay. School Committee in Precinct 10, we have Vincent Serino, 308 votes, Lee Giroux, 153, John Hatch, 190, Joseph Gould, 180 votes, Stephanie Mastrocola, 168, Ryan Fisher, 189, and Tom Whitridge, 244. And 7 write-in votes for School Committee in Precinct 10. The only one I'm missing here is Board of Selectmen. Here we go. Board of Selectmen, we have Deborah Panetta with 327 votes, Corinne Riley with 210, Jeff Ciccolini 271, Sandro Souza 130 votes, Michael Serino 316, and Sebastian DeMonica 162, and Anthony Cogliano 249 votes. Oh, one sec. I messed up. Hold on. 327, 210, 271, 130, 316 for Michael Serino, 162 for DeMonica, and 249 for Cogliano. And those are your results from Precinct 10. So we'll look at the totals here in a minute, but do you want to read some that you may have gotten in the meantime?
I wish I could say yes. I got partial results. I believe it's Precinct 9, which is the other half of the middle high school.
Yes.
And I am unsure exactly because it doesn't say it directly, so I'm just shipped my mother out to verify the rest of 9 for me, and I am sure she will be back any minute now.
I've got some other ones coming in here. Let's
Excellent.
see. This looks like, one second. This is up at Precinct 7, which is up at the Knights of Columbus. We have for the Board of Selectmen, Deborah Panetta, 267, Corinne Riley, 212, Jeff Ciccolini, 218, Mr. Souza, Sandro Souza, 154, Michael Serino, 211, DeMonica, 134, and Cogliano, 211. A lot of close races here in some of these precincts. On the school committee, we have Vincent Serino in Precinct 7 with 225 votes, Lee Giroux with 130, John Hatch with 176, Joseph Gould, 122, Stephanie Mastrocola, 201, Ryan Fisher, 143, Tom Whitridge, 224, and let's see, Housing Authority, Maureen Whitcomb with 209 votes. James Tozer with 165. And Nicholas Melanchuk with 131 votes. And we've got to jump down to town meeting members. Oh, hold on. Town meeting members for Precinct 7. We have Stephen McCarthy with 193 votes. Michael Paolini with 198. Chuporis with 173. Stefano Diana with 144. Bob Palesci, 160 votes, and Frank Federico with 208 votes. So it looks as though Stefano Diana may have lost his seat as an incumbent to Frank Federico in Precinct 7. On the ballot question from Precinct 7, yes votes, 201, no votes, 240. And for Charter Commission members, we have, run down here, Camuso, 57, Ciccolini, 83, Cogliano, 172, Decaro, 71, DePato, 64, Doherty, 81, Federico, 107, Fisher, 92, Gallivan, 82, Long, 83, Manugian, 100, Meredith, 107, Mingalelli, 27, Julie Mitchell, 75, O'Brien, 56, Palumba, 69. Ooh, having trouble reading this one. Panetta, looks like 150. Again, these are not the official results. The official results will be available tomorrow. Some of what we're reading here may be a little faded. Palante, 40 votes. 167 for Rossetti. 131 for Michael Serino. 123 for Vincent Serino. Speziali, 63. Tarantino, 70 votes. 45 for Thompson. 65 for Travers. 71 for Vecchione. And, wow, wait a minute. It looks like 29 votes for Worthley. Again, unofficially.
Yes, the results shouldn't change too much from what'll be posted tomorrow.
Right.
But sometimes they'll vary a little bit, or we have bad eyesight and
Fuzzy
by a
pictures.
little. I can't imagine anything we do tonight will change the results. Well, it won't change the results, but I can't imagine we'll get a race wrong.
Right. If you've got one to read off there, I've got another one here, but I'll just kind of enter it on the side.
I do. I believe my mother has arrived at Precinct 9. Let me just make sure I have the right. I'm going to check the town meeting list. Here we go. Okay. Precinct 9. I'm going to do this in the right order here. We'll start with town meeting race in Precinct 9. Rob Strasnick, 171. Trina Berube, 193. Linda Bell, 160. Judith Worthley, 217. John Cottam, 165. Daniel Kelly, 212. So it appears that's odd. Daniel Kelly will be retaining his seat on Precinct 9 town meeting, as will Judith Worthley. and Trina Berube. Additionally joining them is incumbent Robert Strasnick. It appears the only people, 2, 3, 4. The last seat will be going to John Cottam by 5 votes. So newcomer Linda Bell did not earn a seat, but newcomer John Cottam did.
We also have a newcomer, it looks like, in Precinct 6, Karen Rackenick, with 213 votes. Took one of the 5 seats away from Elisa Lebrasseur with 173 votes. But Bill Brown, Jean Bartolo, Kevin Curry, and Alan Panico will be returning to their seats. Let's see here.
I'm now entering the school committee race for Precinct 9.
Yep.
I will read them off once I finish.
Let's see. In Precinct 6 on the Housing Authority, we have Maureen Whitcomb with 255 votes, James Tozer with 196, and Nicholas Melanchuk with 177 votes.
Housing Authority, School Committee for Precinct 9. I will then add the selectmen results. Vince Areno, 208. Lee Giroux, 131. John Hatch, 162. Joseph Gould, 150. Stephanie Mastrocola, 192. Ryan Fisher, 165. Thomas Wittridge, 201. Board of Selectmen for Precinct 9. Deborah Panetta, 273 votes. Corrine Riley, 181 votes. Jeffrey Ciccolini, 232 votes. Sandro Souza, 130 votes. Michael Serino, 220 votes. Sebastian DeMonica, 139 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 229 votes. I will move over to the Housing Authority race as soon as I find it. Housing Authority for Precinct 9. Maureen Whitcomb, 193. James Toza, 174. Nicholas Melanchuk, 151. Now, as I'm going along here, because I'm going to do the charter race privately, if any of the winners of tonight's town meeting races would like to come down and say a few words, like I said earlier, we keep the seat open for a reason. You're welcome to join us.
I'll jump in here with the Precinct 6 school committee results. We have Vincent Serino with 248 votes, Lee Giroux with 157, John Hatch 196, Joseph Gould 152, Stephanie Mastrocola 229 votes, Ryan Fisher 178, and Tom Wittridge 256. So again, as we compile these, we'll come back to you with the totals as we get a few more precincts in. But let's see. What am I missing here?
Yeah, setting it apart from usual races. This charter list is so long. There's so many candidates that it's throwing you and I off.
It is, yeah. It's hard to do that rundown.
And looking at the spreadsheet, you just want to make sure you don't accidentally punch in the wrong number because
All right.
everything feeds together, so the totals will be off. So that's why we're being so careful right now. And I am finishing up the results from Precinct 9. Thank you to my dear mother, Maureen, for running out there for me. Still waiting on Precincts 3 and 5 from the Senior Center. And I know, Steve, we still got some left on your end.
I've got everything on Precinct 6. Let me jump over here, and now I've got, what is this? Hold on. Not a video.
Somebody sent a video.
Yeah. is not going to help me. Wait a minute. One sec.
For those of you watching, we would much prefer to be chatting about the town and
Let's see.
and different things. As I keep saying, the charter list is so long that we're being really careful.
One second, sorry.
Hi, Mom. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
All right. Let's see what else I have here. All right, I've got some. Nope. I guess I don't. Here is. Who was at the Belmonte?
The Belmonte is Glenn Davis. I have not heard from him.
I've got a text from him, but no results.
If we need to ship my mother out again, you'll have to buy her lunch, but she'll happily do it.
All right, precinct 2. I just got in here. Let's see. Nope, I need some more pictures.
All right.
Here we go.
I finished entering the results from precinct 9.
Let me run down here. Precinct 2, Board of Selectmen. This is from the vet school. We've got Deborah Panetta with 289 votes, 256 for Corinne Riley, 240 for Jeff Ciccolini, 170 for Sandro Souza, 236 for Michael Serino, 171 for Demotica, and 211 for Anthony Cogliano. School committee, we've got 224 for Vincent Serino, 183 for Lee Giroux, 192 for Hatch, 134 for Gould, 233 for Mastrocola, and I got to jump to my next picture here. Hold on. Maybe not. Here we go.
You know, I'm happy to see the turnout too. Speaking as the representatives from precinct 4, the sort of runt of the population litter here. You know, it was good to see such a high ballot count too. We had over probably 300 people at precinct 4 last I checked, and that's really good to see. You know, in years past, they tend to have the lowest turnout, so I'm glad to see it coming up this year. As we say, any involvement is good involvement here.
Precinct 2 with the Housing Authority, we have Maureen Whitcomb with 261, James Tozer 195, and Nicholas Melanchuk 143. Charter Commission. Yes votes in Precinct 2 are 242, no votes 228. And for the commission itself, we have Camuso 169, Ciccolini 101, Cogliano 169, Decaro 60, DePato 92, Doherty 91, Federico 108, Fisher 126, Gallivan 97, Long 91, Manugian 133, Meredith 177, Mingalelli 18, Mitchell, 80. O'Brien, 81. 69 for Palumba. Panetta, 205. Palante, 158. And I'm jumping to the next picture here, hold on. Rossetti, 184. Michael Serino, 161. Vincent Serino, 131. Speziali, 41. Tarantino, 57. Thompson, 41. 57 for Travers. 155 for Vecchione. Judy Wordley, 75. All right, and we need town meeting. Let's see if I've got that here. Yeah. For precinct 2, we have Matthew Palante, 247 votes. Jeannie Meredith, 250. Joseph Malone, 162. Christine Mareshi, 206. Lamete, 117. Rossetti, 254. And Camuso, 235. So it appears that the 3 incumbents regained their seats, joined by Matthew Palante and Jeannie Meredith to represent Precinct 2 in town meeting. So let's see. All right, with 6 precincts reporting, to give you some quick totals here, right now, 6 precincts in, it looks like our 5 incumbent Board of Selectmen are holding on to their position at this point. Again, that's not final, but 4 precincts to go, but they are leading at this point. On the school committee, we have Vincent Serino, John Hatch, and Ryan Fisher retaining their seats, and Stephanie Mastrocola and Tom Whitridge are putting on a good challenge at this point. Maureen Whitcomb is leading for the Housing Authority along with James Toza. The Charter Commission question, right now there are 1,335 votes yes, 1,497 no, so it looks like that's heading towards not passing. But should it pass, the 9 members currently in the lead are Donald Ciccolini, Anthony Cogliano, Ryan Fisher, Peter Manoogian, Jeannie Meredith, Deborah Panetta, Peter Rossetti, Michael Serino, and Vincent Serino. But again, that's a close race all the way down the board. So with 4 precincts to go, we really can't call anything on that front as yet. Back to you, Andrew, while I recheck my notes here.
So, I'll admit a personal error here. It's not really an error, nothing with the results, but before tonight's broadcast, we did a last-minute switch on who was collecting one of our results, and rather than the person sending them to me, they're now going to send them to Steve, so he's got more results to report than I do here. And as I said, if we need to make a quick pivot and run out to Precinct 4 or one of the others, we definitely can.
This is what I'm getting. No results. Send the pictures again. What did I send? Didn't get them.
I'm going to ask my mother very politely and with the most lovable expression I can to take a ride over to the Belmonte Middle School and read us the results from Precincts 4 and 8.
In addition to being a candidate waiting for her own results here, she's running around helping us to compile them. So we have Precinct 1. Just the results that we do know that are final, if not official at this point. In Precinct 1, town meeting, we have Sue Palumba, Susan Dunn, Mark Bell returning as incumbents, and we have Stacy Herman Durant and John O'Brien stepping in as newcomers to fill out the remaining 2 seats.
You guys are out here worrying about who's getting elected, and I'm out here worrying about how much I'm going to owe my mother after tonight.
In Precinct 2, we have Christine Mareshi, Peter Rossetti, and Robert Camuso retaining their seats, and Jeannie Meredith and Matthew Palante stepping in as newcomers. There's nobody being bumped out in Precinct 2. There were 2 members who didn't run for re-election, so they'll be filling those slots. Precinct 3, we're still waiting on from the Senior Center. Precinct 4 we're still waiting on. And 5, the Belmonte and the Senior Center. From the Veteran School, Precinct 6, town meeting, we have Alan Panico, Kevin Curry, William Brown and Jeannie Bartolo are retaining their seats, and Karen Rackinick, and again, I apologize, Karen, if I'm mispronouncing that, stepping in with 213 votes to take one of the 5 seats in Precinct 6. Alyssa Lebrasseur, again, we thank her for her past service, but she won't be rejoining us this year from the looks of it. Precinct 7, the Knights of Columbus, we have Stephen McCarthy, Michael Paolini, John Chaporis, and Robert Palesci returning, and Frank Federico actually topping the ticket in Precinct 7 with 208 votes to take that seat away from Stefano Diana. Precinct 8, we're still waiting on from the Belmonte. Precinct 9, at the middle school, we've got Bob Strasnick, Katarina Berube, Judy Wordley, and Dan Kelly returning, and John Cottam will be filling the seat vacated by Bob Long, who moved over to Precinct 4. Linda Bell was unsuccessful in her attempt. On Precinct 10, we've got Darren Ring, Peter Manugian, Peter Delios, Carlos Gazzarella, and Martin Costello all returning to their seats. And again, we thank James Tozer and Steve DiVigilio for stepping up and making this a race this year. Just to recap some totals right now, for the question on the Charter Commission, it's 1,497 no, opposed to 1,335 yes. The 5 incumbent members of the Board of Selectmen are all leading. The lowest vote there is 1,339, and the highest challenger is 927. I'm sorry, 945. So it looks like they may be in good shape, but still too early to call with as many precincts as we still have out. And the same with the school committee. Certainly not final results because there are a lot more votes to come in, but it looks like Stephanie Mastrocola and Tom Whitridge are both doing very well. Tom's actually in second place with the vote as a challenger, and Stephanie Mastrocola has 1,293 votes. Vincent Serino is topping the ticket right now with 1,496. Maureen Whitcomb right now for Housing Authority topping the ticket with 1,493. Top vote getter on the should we have a charter commission, the top vote getter at this point is Deborah Panetta with 1,277 votes so far, followed by Anthony Cogliano with 1,097, Peter Rossetti with 1,002. Those are the 3 people that are up in the 4-digit category right now with votes for the Charter Commission.
However, it appears that the Charter Commission vote, it's leaning towards no right now by about 150 votes. That could change any second now as we get the results coming in from different precincts.
So again, at this point, we're just waiting on our folks at the Belmonte School and our folks at the Saugus Senior Center. And so that's 4 precincts that we haven't heard from, 6 reporting. I see one of our candidates walking in the back door here. Mr. Manugian, would you like to come up and join us? We have an empty seat. Congratulations on retaining your seat in Precinct 10 and topping the ticket in doing so. And right now, should there be a charter commission, you're also in the top 9 for that at the moment, but we still have
Mr. Manugian, welcome. Somebody sent me the results from 4 and 8, where we just sent my mother, but I don't have the numbers saved, so I don't know who this is. But whatever, let's keep it interesting. Boy, is my mother going to be mad about 10 minutes.
You have the results? If you want to read them off, I'll plug them in. Which one are you doing first?
I got to make sure. 4 and 8 from Glenn. I'd like to thank Glenn Davis. Once again, Glenn doesn't have my number, so I have no idea who sent these, but we'll start with the school committee. I need to be sure. I don't know which one this is. Precinct 4 Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
Deborah Panetta, 213 votes.
Yep.
Corrine Riley, 140 votes. Jeff Ciccolini, 162 votes. Sandro Souza, 109 votes. Michael Serino, 168 votes. Sebastian DeMonico, 111 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 136 votes.
All right, so with that, same thing. It looks like our 5 incumbents are leading the board and continue to do so with Precinct 4. Go ahead.
Once again, it's the photos are clear. They just didn't include the precincts at the top. So
If you read me a name, I might be able to tell you by town meeting.
Precinct 8, town meeting, 250 votes. Thomas Travers.
Yep.
Chrissy Taligan, 165. William Kramick, 134. William Cross, 192. Arthur Grabowski, 170. Anthony Lepresti, 203. Darren McCullough, 246.
All right, so for town meeting in Precinct 8, we've got Tom Travers, Bill Cross, and Anthony Lepresti that'll be returning. William Kramich, it looks like, lost his bid for re-election, and Darren McCullough and Arthur Grabowski will be stepping up to fill those last 2 seats.
Housing Authority, Precinct 8.
Yep.
Maureen Whitcomb, 260 votes. James Toza, 170 votes. Nicholas Milanchuk, 155 votes.
Okay. That's been going about along with what we've seen so far. So
This, I believe, is 8 as well. For the question on charter, yes, 264.
Yep.
No, 217.
okay.
And then I'll go down the list for charter as well. Camuso, 85. Ciccolini, 104. Cogliano, 189. Decaro, 92. Depato, 69. Doherty, 87. Federico, 80. Fisher, 107. Galvin, 100. Long, 95. Manugian, 133. Meredith, 124. Mingalelli, 24. Mitchell, 115. O'Brien, 78. Palumba, 66. Panetta, 195. Palante, 51. Rossetti, 167. Serino, 149. Serino again. Vince Serino, 149. Mike Serino, 149.
Okay.
Spazzali, 73. Tarantino, 93. Thompson, 36. Travers, 113. Vecchione, 80. Worthley, 86.
All right.
Do we have all the results from Precinct 8?
No.
No.
It's in, Board of Selectmen and School Committee.
Excellent. I have them right here from my mother this time. This is going to be a fun conversation. She'll be here in a few minutes. Board of Selectmen, Precinct 8.
Yep.
Deb Panetta, 278. Corrine Riley, 250. Jeff Ciccolini, 256. Sandro Souza, 167. Michael Serino, 234. Sebastian DeMonico, 170. Anthony Cogliano, 237.
And School Committee.
School Committee, Vince Serino, 256. Lee Giroux, 132. John Hatch, 194. Dennis Gould, 178. Stephanie Mastrocola, 241. Ryan Fisher, 175. Thomas Wittridge, 239.
All right. And the other one you had was Precinct 4?
Yep, 4 is coming in as we speak.
Okay.
Once again, big shout out to my
I've
mother.
got Board of Selectmen. I'm just missing
You've
the
got Board of
others.
Selectmen for 4. Photos coming in right now. We'll do town meeting first.
Okay.
Precinct 4. Bob Long, 181.
Yep.
Bob Northrup, 101. Stephanie Shalosky, 150. Bill Lucy, 114. Glenn Davis, 137.
Yep.
Stephen Doherty, 137. Maureen Whitcomb, 141. We do have a tie, but
It looks like, actually,
it's a tie, but it doesn't affect the results.
no, it looks like Bill
Long.
Lucci and Robert Northrup got
Right.
knocked out by Bob Long and Stephanie Shalkowski.
Now, you did technically tie for last, Mr. Moderator, but
Did.
we won't hold it against you
I'll
this
take
time. Alrighty, what else do we have for 4? We'll go into school committee right now.
Yep.
Vince Areno, 164.
Yep.
Lee Giroux, 112. John Hatch, 130. Dennis Gould, 109. Stephanie Mastrocola, 159. Ryan Fisher, 139. Thomas Whitridge, 168.
Okay, and Charter Commission.
Charter Commission, for the question, yes, 149. No, 170.
And down the members.
Down the list. Camuso, 65.
Yep.
Ciccolini, 46. Cogliano, 104. Decaro, 36. Doherty, 82.
What about DePato?
Sorry, DePato, 46. Good catch.
Yep.
Doherty, 82.
Okay.
Federico, 56. Fisher, 80. Galvin, 53. Long, 102. Manugian, 93. Meredith, 84. Mingalelli, 26. Mitchell, 55. O'Brien, 49. Palumba, 51. Panetta, 151. Parlante, 30. Rossetti, 98. Sereno, 115. Vincerino, 85.
Yep.
Speziali, 39.
Speziali.
Sorry,
39.
Speziali, 39. Tarantino, 57.
Yep.
Thompson, 26. Travers, 36.
Yep.
Vecchione, 53. Worthley, 81.
Okay.
Now we're going to wrap up Precinct 4, and then I will give our colleague from Precinct 10,
Precinct 4, we just need Housing Authority. I'm sorry.
Housing Authority for Precinct 4, Maureen Whitcomb, 162.
Yeah.
James Toza, 138. Melanchuk, 112. Now, Mr. Manugian, if you'd like to say a few words to the voters,
Again, Peter, congratulations on your victory in Precinct 10 tonight. And
and your tentative
should there be a
victory.
Charter Commission?
Your Charter Commission. Steve and I are going to take a minute to compose ourselves and catch up, but you have the floor, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to thank the voters of Precinct 10 for returning me and the strong showing of support and endorsement. Steve, I hope we have a conversation about how town meeting members can be more effective in representing their precincts. I think that there's a great opportunity, Steve, to engage the body in more purposeful and meaningful discussion about how to bring forth issues and how they can best represent their precincts. There's some wonderful people that served that unfortunately were not returned, but the replacements are outstanding. You look at someone like a Stephanie Shalkowski in
Right.
Precinct 4,
Right.
who is just a breath of fresh air. I think people were really excited about her candidacy. She lives up Sheffield Heights. You also had newcomers like Matt Palante and Frank Federico that campaigned hard. They'll certainly bring fresh perspective and ideas to the community. And it does appear that the question on the charter is, correct me, Mr. Moderator, what do you think? It looks like it's not going to pass by a significant margin.
At this point, with 2 precincts left to report, the yes votes are 1,748, the no votes 1,884. So it's leaning towards not passing at this point, but
Yeah, it's going to be close, and
Close
obviously, a lot of time and effort was put into that, and I want to congratulate those people that worked hard. It did engage the community. It will be interesting to see what the voter turnout was. I hope it's close to 30%. Local elections, we don't get much of a turnout, but hopefully that brought out a lot of people. It certainly brought out some of these new candidates. So obviously, the people had the opportunity to engage, and they did. And there's new people involved. And Mr. Moderator, you pointed out that every precinct was competitive.
Yes.
And that's a first as well. Going forward, obviously we have to see the results, but if the question on forming a charter commission does not pass, we have to have a serious conversation if town meeting should form a committee and take a look at some of the ideas that were brought forth during the various forums and so forth.
Yes, Steve.
So, go ahead.
Steve and I discussed this at the top of the broadcast. I refer to it as the Wednesday morning plan.
Yeah,
And we don't know for sure. We still have a couple of
correct.
races to call that are coming in a few minutes. But there are things in the charter we can change. Well, not tomorrow, but with inclusion of town meeting, there are pretty obvious things I think we can all agree on that need to be fixed. Whether it's antiquated language in terms of gender inclusion or committees that are written in the charter that don't exist anymore. We can have that conversation tomorrow.
And if town meeting forms a committee, town meeting can also prescribe more public forums and hearings than what Chapter 43B prescribes. There can be more citizen involvement, and clearly with 2 new members that were supporting a charter change in town meeting, perhaps they could be included in that discussion as well, if one takes place and if one is necessary. So I think the public wants to see, in my opinion, they want to see harmonious government, not necessarily agreement all the time, but some sort of harmony and a purposeful direction to improve things. And there's great opportunity in Saugus to do that. We have a strong foundation. Your moderator has, Steve, you've appointed capable and qualified people to the Finance Committee. You've been very diligent about that. And they've supported financial policies, the town meeting has as well, that have resulted in a AA+ bond rating. The voters obviously responded to that. The question was, do you want to revise the charter? Do you want to elect a charter commission to revise? Well, revise means to change. And, the public may have seen that things are going well financially for the town and in other ways, and they might have said, well, not this time necessarily. So I do want to, again, congratulate all of those that participated, and let's continue the discussion and not end it here.
as I said earlier tonight, Peter, looking at it's unfortunate that with 6 and 7 people running in each precinct, you certainly applaud everyone who steps up, and unfortunately, not everyone can win. You're going to have 1 or 2 losers in each precinct. But the town doesn't lose, because looking at the talent that's out there and what these people can bring to the table, regardless of who wins in these races tonight, I think it's good, and the town's going to be able to move forward and keep moving in the right direction.
And the big elephant in the room here is selectmen. Look at Debbie Panetta, what she's done. Am I correct that she's topped the ticket in every precinct?
We believe so. We have 3 and 5 right here. I'm going to jump in right now.
All right, let's plug in the last 2 precincts.
Board of Selectmen, Precinct 5.
Yep.
Deborah Panetta, 355 votes. Corrine Riley, 227 votes. Jeffrey Ciccolini, 299 votes. Sandro Souza, 174 votes. Michael Serino, 235 votes. Sebastian DeMonica, 197 votes. Anthony Cogliano, 247 votes. School Committee, Precinct 5.
Yep.
Vince Serino, 274. Lee Giroux, 170. John Hatch, 208. Gould, 160. Mastrocola, 266. Fisher, 174. Whitridge, 279. Housing Authority, Maureen Whitcomb, 302. Toza, 214. Melanchuk, 171.
Yep.
Town Meeting, Precinct 5, Jacqueline Hickman, 281. Mary Migliori, 219. Pam Goodman, 320. Mark Panetta, 232. Brenton Spencer, 229. Ronald Wallace, 236.
Okay.
I'm going to leave the charter results from that precinct off for now because I can tell you in a minute once I read the next precinct whether or not we're going to need to go down the individual
Well,
list.
why
Well,
don't you
we
read
wanna
the
get on the
results?
list anyway,
Let's
so
take
everybody sees
some-
what
Okay,
it's doing.
fair enough.
So,
You want to read
yeah.
the results? Well, the question results I was going to share anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, 256. No, 294. We'll go down the list.
Okay.
Rob Camuso, 96 votes. Ciccolini, 92. Cogliano, 182. Decaro, 67. Depato, 73. Doherty, 97. Federico, 87. Fisher, 118. Galvin, 105. Long, 110. Manugian, 165. Meredith, 131. Mingolelli, 37. Julie Mitchell, 121. John O'Brien, 79. Sue Palumba, 93. Deb Panetta, 266. Matt Parlante, 55. Rossetti, 179. Serino, 155. Vince Serino, 133.
Yep.
And then the last bunch there,
Speziale.
Speziale, 74.
Yep.
Tarantino, 101. Thompson, 49. Travers, 106. Vecchione, 100. Worthley, 123.
All right. And that leaves us with precinct 3.
3 is always a wild card in Saugus.
Precinct 3, let me find it. I got an array of photographs here. I just don't want to read off the first one I did again. That's 5. Hang on a minute. Precinct 3. Selectmen, hang on a minute. Board of Selectmen, Precinct 3, Deb Panetta, 339 votes. Corrine Riley, 239 votes.
Yep.
3 here. Jeff Ciccolini, 299. Sandro Souza, 156. Michael Serino, 260. Sebastian DeModica, 166. Anthony Cogliano, 222.
Okay.
To find the rest of Precinct 3, it is in here. That's 5. This is 3 here. Precinct 3, Town Meeting.
Yep.
Daniel Shanna, 222. Richard Thompson, 173. Arthur Connors, 194. Ricky Smith, 128. Ann Tesora, 169. Len Ferrari, 278. Mark Sacco, 233.
Okay.
How's, oh, go ahead,
Sorry,
please.
there's 2 newcomers there. Len
Yes.
Ferrari.
Ferrari and Mark Sacco stepping up. Taking
Ferrari,
seats from Rick Smith and Anne-Marie Tesoro.
he really worked at that guy. He was out there going door to door and putting signs up. I mean, some people really worked it for town meeting.
Well, it paid
And
off.
it
'Cause
paid off,
He topped the
obviously.
ticket. He topped the ticket for precinct 3.
A warm congratulations to him. We're going to go to the charter results
Okay.
for Precinct 3. I'm just going to verify with 5 and make sure these aren't the ones we read off already. They are not. Okay. Precinct 3. For the question, Yes, 242.
Yep.
No, 255.
So that seals it.
That seals it for the charter.
Yep.
We can go
Votes?
down the list.
Yeah, people want to see where they landed.
Camusa 120.
Yep.
Ciccolini 111. Cogliano 176. Decaro 74. DePato 74. Doherty 97. Federico 101. Fisher 154. Hang on a second. Galvin 103. Long 122. Manugian 155. Meredith 169. Mingalelli 31. Mitchell 113. O'Brien 91. Palumba 93. Panetta 270. Parlante 69. Rossetti 154. Serino 169. Vince Serino 156. Slide over to the last sheet here. Speziali 49.
Yep.
Tarantino 91. Thompson 71. Travers 81. Vecchione 94. Worthley 90.
Okay. School committee.
I've got them here. I'm searching for them.
School committee and housing authority.
Housing Authority. Maureen Whitcomb 289. James Toza 208. Melanchuk 135.
Okay.
School Committee. Vincerino 253. Lee Giroux 206. Hatch 237. Gould 189. Mastrocola 185. Fisher 215. Oh, whoops. Good. That would be a glare. That's fantastic.
Which candidate was that?
That's Wittridge. I didn't notice that. It's exactly over the number.
It's the flash.
Yep.
Sorry, Tom, but they should
alrighty.
have a flash there.
I have to try to get another photo.
Maybe someone can text me what that's precinct 3.
Precinct 3.
School committee.
School committee for Tom Whitridge. We have a flash. No, nothing yet.
I'm putting that out there to the ether for those of you that are listening. If anybody has it, I do not have Tommy Wittridge's number. I didn't notice that. The screen glare just covered it right over.
All right. I'm going to jump to the totals page
Yes,
here.
I think we can
And,
call some races right here.
Yeah, again, keep in mind that these results are being tabulated by two guys wearing glasses, reading them off of cell phones. So there is definitely a margin for error. And either of us could easily transpose a number also. But the ones I can give you that I'm fairly sure of, because I don't think we made any mistakes of that magnitude. Housing Authority would like to congratulate Maureen Whitcomb with 2,506 votes and James Toza with 1,914. A good almost 500 votes ahead of the third place finisher there. So I believe those two are our new Housing Authority, will continue to be our Housing Authority representatives. The charter question appears to have failed 2,433 votes to 2,246. Again,
What was the second number?
Oh, I've got
2,246. So there's a
2246.
couple of hundred votes there almost. So I doubt that's an error in our calculations. I believe that did fail. Some of these numbers on the Charter Commission actual vote totals may be off, but it looks like the person who topped the ticket, had we had a Charter Commission, would have been Deb Panetta with 2,159 votes, followed by Anthony Cogliano with 1,748. And then we also had up in the top 9 Michael Serino with 1,563, Mr. Manugian with 1,432, Vincent Serino, Jeannie Meredith, Bob Long, Ryan Fisher, Peter Rossetti. That would have rounded out the top 9 field. Okay. It looks like and I think I can call this with some certainty, again, we didn't make any errors that were that grave. It looks like our 5 Board of Selectmen are returning to their seats. Deborah Panetta, Corinne Riley, Jeff Ciccolini, Mike Serino, and Anthony Cogliano handily, with Deb Panetta topping the ticket with 2,986 votes.
Steve, can you give the order of obviously Debbie's first with how many votes?
Deb is on top with 2,986 votes, followed by Jeff Ciccolini with 2,523, Michael Serino, 2,391, Anthony Cogliano, 2,223, and Corinne Riley, 2,195.
So that is a major shift in Board of Selectmen race with
Same members, but different. Different
Cogliano
finishing
dropping
order
from
than
first to
past.
fourth
Yep.
by a huge margin. Debbie pulled him by, what's that, 600 and something votes?
700 and
Yes,
763.
763 votes.
Now,
On the school committee, again, I don't think we made any mistakes that would swap out the results here.
yes, but what we did,
We've got, one sec, Vin Serino topping the ticket with 2,443 votes, followed by Tom Whitridge. Actually, no, Vin may not have topped the ticket because we're still waiting on
I
one
just-
precinct for Tom
I
Whitridge.
just put it in. I was about to add,
Okay,
thank you to my friend Rich Thompson for taking care of the senior center for us.
he is in, 273, okay.
273 votes for Thomas Whitridge,
So
rounding out the
that
school
puts
committee.
Tom in second place with 2,428 votes, again, unofficially. Stephanie Mastrocola, another newcomer, stepped up with 2,144 votes, followed by John Hatch with 1,937 and Ryan Fisher with 1,763. It looks like Joseph Gould and Lee Giroux lost out on this race, but we certainly thank them for their past service on the school committee. And then on the precincts, just again, a quick rundown. Precinct 1, Anthony Aroni lost his bid for re-election, as did Christopher Jones. They were replaced by Stacy Herman Durant and John O'Brien. In Precinct 2, the 3 incumbents running for re-election were all re-elected: Christine Maresci, Peter Rossetti, and Robert Camuso, and now they're going to be joined by Matthew Palante and Jeannie Meredith. In Precinct 3, incumbents Dan Shenna, Rich Thompson, and Arthur Connors will be joined by Leonard Ferrari and Mark Sacco. And again, we thank Ricky Smith and Anne-Marie Tesoro for a nice race and for their service. In Precinct 4, we have Stephanie Shalkowski that'll be stepping in to a new position, and Bob Long is going to be moving from Precinct 9 representative over to Precinct 4. And we thank Bob Northrup and Bill Lucci, who did not win their re-election bids. In Precinct 5, Mark Panetta stepped up to take the seat away from Mary Migliori. In Precinct 6, we have Karen Rackinick, who stepped in as a newcomer and knocked out Elisa Labrasseur. In Precinct 7, we have Frank Federico, who actually topped the ticket for the 6 candidates in Precinct 7, eliminating Stefano Diana from his seat. In Precinct 8, in addition to incumbents Tom Travers and Bill Cross and Anthony Lopresti, Bill Kramich was not successful in his re-election bid, and we're going to be welcoming Darren McCullough and Arthur Grabowski to town meeting. In Precinct 9, let me make sure I get this right. Yep. Precinct 9, we have the 4 incumbents: Bob Strasnick, Katerina Berube, Judy Worthley, Dan Kelly. Again, the 5th incumbent is now a Precinct 4 town meeting member, Bob Long. And John Cottam is going to be joining them as the 5th representative for Precinct 9. And in Precinct 10, we have the 5 incumbents that are going to be returning: Darren Ring, Peter Manugian, Peter Delios, Carlos Scazzarella, and Martin Costello. But again, we thank James Tozer and Steve DiVigilio for stepping up and making it a race. And those are our results. I don't know if you can see my screen here from where you are, but those are the results for the 2023 election here in Saugus. Not a lot of surprise on the Board of Selectmen side, I don't think, with the 5 incumbents coming back. Some surprise in the order of finish, I agree. Not a big surprise in the Housing Authority. And Maureen, since you're joining us here today, congratulations. Would you like to come up and say
Come on up,
anything to the
Maureen.
voters? Please do. And a little change up in the school committee. We've got a couple of new faces stepping up there to replace incumbents, but we'll, again, no way does the town lose on this situation because they're all qualified people across the board running for these positions. So it was a good political season all in all. Maureen.
Thank you for everyone who came out and voted today. Today was a great day for it. I am so glad we didn't have any rain or cold weather because we did actually see a lot of foot traffic in and out of all the polls. When I drove around today, the senior center was buzzing like I've never seen it before. And vet school, the high school, and the junior high. I know we don't get a lot of turnout for precinct 4. I wish there was more because we have actually a lot of people that live in precinct 4, but they're in apartments, they work, they don't want to come out. Do early voting, guys. It's not hard. We even have it voting on Saturdays. But that's for the next time. I'd like to congratulate all the winners that came out, all the participants that came out, and congratulate all the winners that won, including myself, and Steve, and Peter.
Thank you.
Um,
Because I haven't said it publicly yet, because I was waiting for you to return from one of the 6 ventures we sent you on tonight.
I know.
A warm congratulations to my mother for her town meeting and housing authority race. I am
Thank
so
you
proud of
very
you, as
much.
I always am.
I didn't know if I would. I know that we were up against a lot of good people, and I'm looking forward to working with the new people that are starting, especially with town meeting, because we can make some good changes.
And thank you again for running around for us tonight and helping out pulling the results in here.
That's
Appreciate
okay, not a problem. Let me switch.
Andrew, would you like to take us out?
Be my pleasure, Mr. Moderator. You know, as we've been saying since, 7:30 tonight, some things have changed and some things haven't. What's important is at the end of the day, we all care about the community of Saugus, whether it's a town or a city or whether that's not even a discussion. You run for office to get involved, to better your neighborhood, to, work with the kinds of people that want to help too. In some shape or form, that's what we're all here for. Have there been shifts in the Board of Selectmen? Yes, there have. Have there shifts in the school committee? Yes, there have. But tomorrow we're still going to be Saugus, and that's what matters to me. Congratulations to all the candidates that won tonight. And in 2 years, we're going to do this again.
Let's do this again, I agree.
I congratulate the people of Saugus for participating as they have. Winners and losers, enrich the process and bring forth new ideas. New people have come forward. It's nice to see people returning. Jeannie Meredith coming in strongly
town meeting
in her home
precinct,
precinct. And so many new people involved, which is wonderful. I want to congratulate the 2 challengers on the Board of Selectmen. It's a very tough hill to climb when 5 incumbents run and all the and things are going well in the town. It's pretty hard to knock off an incumbent. And the incumbents have basically supported the policies and of the town manager. Yeah, there's been some kerfuffles along the
Right.
way, but the town's doing well. I see Selectman Serino was in the
Yes.
audience here.
If you would like to say a few
Why
words.
don't you come up and take my seat here, Mike, and congratulations. That's your,
That's right.
right.
On meeting nights, it's your seat.
I'd like to welcome Selectman Serino back to his own chair.
We'll make Michael feel special.
You did call this.
Well, Selectman Serino, we're going to give you a few minutes, and then we'll do the official sign-off.
Welcome, Michael, and
I
congratulations.
wanted to get up here and thank everybody before you guys signed off. I want to thank everybody out there that supported me this election. I think it was a great victory for the town, not just myself, and all the volunteers on both sides of the aisle, whether they lost or all won. You all care about the town like we all do equally, and I want to thank you for participating in our government. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. You know, he hit it on the head too. Whether you were a candidate for office this year, whether you were out holding a sign for someone, going door to door distributing literature, or whether you just went out today and cast your vote, thank you for being part of the process and for helping to put all of these people in place to help move the town forward. Not everyone's going to be happy tomorrow. Some people are going to be disappointed, but keep in mind, if you didn't vote, you don't get to complain. And for those who did, thank you for doing your part.
You know, and
Right.
as we said, regardless of what happened with the charter tonight, you know, we can have that conversation about a town meeting charter change or making the small edits, as we've discussed before. We can have that tomorrow.
Sure.
I obviously can't send the article to town meeting, but I'd like to see somebody do it. I'd like to have that conversation, and I'd like to loop in everybody that ran if they'd like. You know, as I said, tomorrow we will still be Saugus. We will still be a town. We will still be a family. We'll still be a community. And town meeting will still be there to represent the people. And with that, I suppose I will bid us farewell. One final huge thank you to Rachel and Michelle and Anthony and everybody else at SCTV that helped make this happen. To everybody downstairs right now, running around frantically in the clerk's office. Ellen Shenna and the team down there are incredible, dedicated public servants. And, you know, as a clerk and everybody, we're so lucky to have them here. Good night, everyone. Thank you
Good
for
night.
voting.
Thank you.
And we'll
Deb-
see you in 2 years.
Deb, I know this will be yours in the morning, but we're adjourned.